Okay.
Is that a song? Do you want to share? Good morning, Lee County. All right. We are live and we are rolling. We'll call the meeting to order. Becky, would you call the roll?
Absolutely. Jim Sheeline,
Here.
Mike Book, Tom Kitson,
Present.
Larry Mamini,
Present.
Tim Bivens,
Here.
Nancy Naylor.
Present.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here this morning. And as usual, we will go around the room and this is public comment time. So if you have anything for us, you know, we'll hear from you. And we have a new face that I want to welcome to the room, and Jeff, our new facilities director. Thank you. Just met you right before the meeting. Very nice that you're here and appreciate you coming on board the team. So do you have anything for us this morning? All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Dave? All right. Let's see, in the back. Oh, I have a guy at the podium already. Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Mike Hermes, Amboy resident. This is Amanda McCoy, my next door neighbor. We are just here representing a bunch of people from Amboy that are very concerned with a proposed cell phone tower, 5G tower that's going to go basically in our backyard. And there's a bunch of people, a group of us, there was 25 at a meeting on Sunday. And we just wanted to bring to your attention that, you know, we're not necessarily fighting the tower, its location. You know, if it can get moved away from our homes. There's a lot of studies that show the 5G is a health risk, you know, and it's getting a lot of, you know, people are fighting it across the country, and we just don't want it in our backyard. I just have an example. My son has 2 kids. They live in Villa Park. And when they found out this is happening, they said, if that tower goes in, we probably won't let my grandkids come and stay, you know, because of the cancer risk. You know, and everybody else is dealing with their own personal issues on it, you know. So we're just bringing it to your attention. It hasn't been applied for yet. It is. They've been out surveying it and whatever. And we're just trying to, you know, let you know that there's a bunch of us that are fighting it and making you guys aware of it. And then we'll just go through the process as it comes.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming this morning.
Thanks.
Appreciate the heads up.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Clay, anything? Mr. Friels, Mr. Hudson, Alice, Mr. Copine, Stacy.
Sorry to stop that wave of everybody saying no.
Got to break the trend.
Right. Just to keep you informed of where we're at with moving ahead with our case management system, we will do a data conversion starting tonight, which will go through tomorrow, hopefully converting all of that data from the system we are in currently into our new system. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, we will be doing a training to learn that system. We'll be doing that in the courthouse, so we're going to still be available for services and for the work throughout the day that takes place in our office. And then the other thing that I've got just to keep you advised of is the Dependent Children's Care Fund, which I talked about the last time, how I'm over budget with that. That continues to grow. I have a claim for this month, I believe, which is $5,900. So that's just to keep you up to date. I think I'm at about $47,000 in that line item. I was budgeted $27,000. So a little bit over, but just to keep you up to date with where I'm at on that.
All right. Well, appreciate the update, Stacy, and you know, as you know, we'll deal with that when we need to do the budget adjustment.
Thank you.
You bet. Sarah.
I only have the ARPA item on the agenda.
Okay. Amy.
Morning. I am not on the agenda, but I did want to let you know the Circuit Clerk's Office is considering changing case management systems. We will soon be the only one in the state of Illinois, excuse me, with our vendor. Winnebago has them now, and they are going to be switching. And that's going to leave us in a financial hardship. When the AOIC's office mandates us to make changes throughout the year or years, and we have to follow suit, and there's changes made to our case management system, it costs a lot of money every time. For example, last year, they added more reports that we have to complete, and that cost alone was $130,000, and we split that with Winnebago. And that's what we've been doing every time there's a change. So that's just one. Winnebago County is putting a team together, and they wanted us to go on board. I'm not completely on board with them, but I'm not against what they're doing. We are going to go to their meetings. Judge Klon and I are going to go out to a conference for a technology conference in September, and Winnebago County is going as well, just to see what's out there. They are going to be putting together RFPs and putting them out for vendors, for proposals. So it's not going to hurt us going with them, but I'm not saying in the end that we're going to go with what they're going with, because Winnebago County is a lot bigger county. But again, it's not going to hurt. So that's where we're at. We're going to go out there. I'm going to reach out to vendors as well to come here and maybe put on demos for the whole courthouse to see. I can tell you Winnebago County is going to Carpel, and that's what Charlie's office and the public defender's office here is going to. So that may help as well with like an integration between the systems. But I'm just in the beginning phase. There's no amount of money I can tell you what this is going to cost. I cannot tell you this is going to happen next year. It may happen next year. It may happen the year after. I just wanted you to be informed.
So you weren't planning on putting anything in your budget for the,
I really can't if I don't have an amount, but I will be getting vendors and estimates and things like that, hopefully in the next couple of months.
it'd be helpful.
Yes, I know.
You know,
Yes. So I'm
If
going
we
to,
had, if we had a number that we could shoot at. that-
right, I am going to reach out and have
Yep.
them, I can probably get one or two, but I would like them to do a demo first. So depending on their schedule, if they can get here and everybody's available, then I can get something. But I am hoping, I'm really trying to get something.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Nancy? Nothing. All right, very good. All right, we have the approval of minutes from last month's meeting. Is there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Moved by Naylor, seconded by Kitson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. We got next is the treasurer's monthly financial report. And guess what? The finance chairman gets to give the finance report. Because our treasurer is otherwise occupied in Wisconsin, my understanding. So I am going to be delving into this a little bit. Wendy, if you could pull up the financials, and we'll start off with revenues. So as you know, we've been keeping a real close eye on what revenues go. Now, the numbers for this month for property taxes, obviously, since we're still in the cycle, are going to be basically zero. Yep, there we go. So move down a little bit, Wendy. So what we're going to focus on is basically sales tax and income taxes. So if you want to move that down.
So Jim, for the record, Becky's under control here, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you say it to me and I say it to her and it's getting really complicated up here.
You know, we'll just cut you out as the middle person.
Please do.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Becky. No, we're fine right there. Oh, no, scroll up a little bit. There we go, right there. So just as a reminder, we are in June. These are the June numbers. So that's the 7th month of our fiscal year, not the 6th. So when I was running through these, I was thinking, man, we're doing so well. And I had to stop and tell myself that, no, this is the 7th month. So we're doing okay. So where we're at, the $394,000 on the county sales tax is 57% of last year at this time. So we're still, that's running slightly behind last year, but it hasn't dropped off as much as we'd feared. So Becky, go ahead and scroll down. And then we've got the on the county-wide sales tax. So that would be the 1 million, scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, that's the way it works sometimes. So once again, 55 or 57% of last year. So once again, just slightly behind. But that, we're close enough to that 60% level that we're on track. So it hasn't dropped off. I guess what my message is going to be is that it hasn't really truly dropped off as what we had feared. So local use tax, you want to scroll on down back. So we're actually, that 316 number. So 316, so we're actually 64% of last year's total of what we had. So for all the sales taxes, you can see the 2.1 million, we're at 62% of budget. So we're actually ahead a little bit of budget. So that's a good thing. Scroll on down to state income tax. Okay, yep, there you go back. $1.2 million of receipts so far. Once again, that's 60% of last year's receipts. If anybody has a question, I don't know if I can answer it, but if anybody has a question, wants to delve into something, a little look at something specific, just shout out. So in the income tax, yep, let's see. Yeah, yep, just, there we go, right there, don't move. Okay, so this also includes, now the one that we had been really keeping, been worried about because we had guidance from the state was personal property replacement tax that was going to be dropping off. Surprisingly enough, we're at 60% of last year's receipts, which was a record number, if you guys remember from last year. So that hasn't, as of right now, that has not dropped off. And we're 79% of budget. So we're ahead of budget. And so that's all a good thing. I'm telling you guys good news first, right? So don't get too giddy. All right, move on down. Public safety, the sheriff's going to be real interested in this one. And public safety sales tax, again, that is tracking very similarly to everything else. We're at 58% of last year. So we're right on track of matching last year's number, which once again was a record year for us as far as receipts in that item. And we're 68% of budget. So, good news there for making our payments on the jail and those kind of things. All right. Let's scroll down. As I talked to Paul before we got together, before we both left last week, and there was nothing really of note in the cash balances. The one thing that I want to go over, let's see. There's nothing really of note on the capital fund. There's a lot of things there that we haven't expended. Let's see, if you want to keep a scroll down to capital, if you would, Becky. Yeah, run down the back, capital. Yep. It should be, there we go. That's it. Okay, keep scrolling down a little bit. Get down to the end. There you go. You can see there's a lot of blanks. And that's things that we budgeted for, but we have not expended those dollars. So the ones that are there, you can see we've only expended $259,000. But Wendy, do you have a comment in regards to, do you know if there's anything there that is coming soon in some of those budgeted items?
So now that Jeff's here, we do have some projects, and while they may not be exactly the projects we thought we were going to be doing, we do have some projects, and Jeff has kind of jump-started in his 2-week period of time he's been here. We are going to be putting out some RFPs, one in particular for the VAV valves that you all approved. So we'll be coming back to you with, or Jeff will be, with the bids on those projects. As far as the things that are actually listed here, yeah, I am not aware that any of those things specifically are moving forward. The court's HVAC, whether it be ground or roof, we all know that is wrapped up in the Allied Facility Partner Project, which some of that may be expended this year if we have to pay for equipment up front, but most likelihood that's going to roll into next year. And in fact, that's kind of what we've budgeted for. When you see the maintenance department capital line items, you'll see that we've just pushed that forward a year. The process of getting Allied and the Guaranteed Energy Savings Contract has just taken longer than we anticipated.
Right. And then as you go down that, of course, we've got, wait, no, I didn't mean for you to go down. I mean, down the line. We have the highway building, which we budgeted $1 million for that I think I can speak for David, that we're not anywhere close of expending that as yet. We have the broadband grant match, which that's really gone, is my understanding. Is that correct, Wendy?
Oh, correct, yes.
So that unties some dollars in capital for us as we move through these other things. And now, the question I had as I was going through this, Clay, we've got, we budgeted the $9,500 for the bulletproof vests and the rifles. Is that, do you have that coming down the pike, or what's going on with that? Okay. Well, thank you. Always appreciate that. And same with the rifles.
It's possible, depending upon how the invoices get submitted, that maybe it got submitted out of one of your budget line items. So we're going to want to follow up on that. Can you check on that and just see where did we expend the money out of? That happens more often than I'd like to think. And I know that your budget could probably use a little bit more, right?
Yeah. We're coming to you guys are jumping ahead. Don't be jumping ahead on me now. But anyway, then so you can see that we budgeted $3.8 million, $3.9 million roughly out of capital, and so a lot of things there could be carrying over. So that is positive as well for us. Now, Becky, if you run down to general fund, please, revenues.
While she's getting where you'd like her to go, I just want to remind
Keep
the
going.
finance committee that about 3 months ago, maybe as much as 4 months ago, Tom Wilson did come forward with a kind of a 5-year plan of capital. And in that 5-year plan for this fiscal year, he kind of even restructured
What's the next? Is that it? Oh, I'm sorry. I had mine. I need to go to general fund revenues and expenses compared to budget.
It should be back up higher, Becky, back the
Yeah,
other
that
way.
might have been a.
I had capital.
I had it in the last thing that I wanted to talk about.
Nope, keep going.
That's not the sheet that I want to go to. Keep going up. There we go. Whoa. Nope, that's capital. Keep going. I know. Here we go. That's it. That's where I wanted to be. Okay, so you can see our revenues. Now, the reason why I wanted to take a look at this, because this gives us a real good snapshot of where you're at, plus kind of gives you an idea of where we are remaining in budget. So you can see our revenues, even though we're doing well, we're still looking at nearly $500,000 under last year. A lot of that has to do, and Amy, you might want to jump in here. There's fees and fines. I mean, if you look at that number there of where we're at versus budget, I think we're seeing the effect of
Yes.
what we were afraid of.
In the court system, there's waivers that people can apply for and not have to pay filing costs. So that is hurting our office, and that will continue to hurt,
Right.
Unfortunately. But that is part of it.
So now some of that's, you know, it's just like the negative number on the income taxes, that could pick up. It's just that we're showing under $112,000 and so we just need to keep an eye on that. Okay, Beck, if you could scroll down. So here's where we're at as far as expenses go. And you heard me last month talk briefly about expenses. So you look at we'll just look at that bottom line and we're $1.4 million in where we're at right now as over budget. And so that's basically, we budgeted the 15,426,000 and the 9.3 is what we've expended so far. So that number of that's in the middle, that percentage, that is not, that's a low number there is bad as far as this time of year, because we've still got five more months to go in the fiscal year. So 39% is what we have left of budget. So that's where you can see we're 1.4 basically over budget from last year at this time. So it's concerning. I think we're going to be okay at the end of the day because, you know, number one, we haven't expended some of the capital items that aren't going to be there, but you know, you can see, you know, and I hate to pick on you, Sheriff, but of course, you know, that's you know, that's overtime and the issues that we have at the Sheriff's Department is starting to really pick up. And now I'll pick up on Alice. Now, I'm an equal opportunity picker. Alice left. That's not fair. Oh, all right. But planning and zoning is also, you know, we just haven't had the revenue from last year, and we've had higher expenses because we've had all these extra zoning meetings that you know, have cost that line item. And so anyway, this is where we're at. We're still got 5 more months to go in the fiscal year, but I want to make sure the committee and everybody is aware that you know, it's not something that we need to take any drastic action at this time. But I just, you know, as I briefly said to all the department heads publicly last month, is that we really just need you guys to keep track of what your expenses are. Like Stacy, you know, some of these things, you know, you just can't help. You know, they're extraordinary expenditures that just happen because of circumstance. And I get that. But if there's other ways that, you know, you can find in your budgets to mitigate, it'd be great. And same with Clay and David and Jeff. So appreciate, and Charlie. I can't forget Charlie. So anyway, committee, have any questions? Liram, you have any questions? Hearing none. That is the treasurer's report. All right. I spoke so long, I lost my agenda. Oh. Well, I'm getting it. Okay. All right, we're down to Insurance Committee and Gredco. Liram, do you have anything for us in Gredco?
No, Jim, nothing new.
All right, thank you. Nancy, do we have anything on insurance?
Not this time. I think Sarah has a meeting scheduled coming up next week. for
Yes,
Wellness
the
Committee,
next
so we'll have
Wellness Committee
something
meeting is
back.
July 19th.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Let's see, ARPA. Sarah, you're up. Quarterly report.
Patty and I prepared the ARPA quarterly report for your review. It is in your onboard if you'd like to follow along. Just going over the expenditures this quarter, we've had no expenditures. The only item we addressed was reallocating some funds back to the ARPA Capital Fund. So we had some projects that were approved and were completed, and there were some funds left over. So $63,888.32 was reallocated back to the ARPA Capital Fund. An update on the fire department allocation. We have, between Patty and I, we've communicated with all but two fire departments, or excuse me, one fire department on their award, or two, sorry. Compton and West Brooklyn have not yet submitted expenses. Kevin Lally did reach out to me. I think he's had some communication with both of them, but Patty or I have not heard from either of them. Hope to hear from them in the future so that they can use those funds for their award. Community service program wrapped up in March. I have a list of the agencies that we funded through that and what they used their funds for. Dixon Family YMCA used a majority of their funds to provide financial assistance adjustments for families in need. Goodfellows of Lee County, they recently moved into a new facility. It was not ADA compliant, so they needed to install a chairlift to make it handicap accessible and compliant. A majority of their funds were used for food vouchers to families in need during the Christmas season, which is their annual Christmas giveaway. Hope Bible Fellowship, they used their funds for a variety of different items, supporting emissions projects. A large amount went to benevolence assistance for community members in need. They replaced an air conditioner, did some employee training, snow removal, and office supplies. Meals on Wheels, a majority of their funds went back to those that they provide their meals to. They used ARPA funds to offset that cost to their clients. And they also used a small amount of funds for utilities and expenses. Shining Star Children's Advocacy Center used funds to cover their copy fax scanner lease, audit expenses, printing expenses, and they placed a large order for a lot of printing items that they give out to clients and caregivers when they meet with them. Sinisippi Centers, they have a client fee assistance program and the CARES assistance program available to clients. They can apply for assistance in a variety of different areas. So these funds covered some of those items, including rent, utilities, cash assistance, gas cards, medication copays, YMCA memberships, transportation and auto repair. And based upon their notes that some of these funds that were used went back to individuals that we have currently in our drug court and our veterans treatment court. And the last one, United Way, they were down quite a bit in community donations. So community donations were being used towards salary at United Way. With ARPA funds, they were able to use the ARPA funds to cover salary and redirect those donations to their Summer Eats program, which is currently going on. As far as a financial update, we have spent $3.6 million in pending projects, and we currently have $3,011,959.57 in funds available. And then we also have a category breakdown that we've listed there. Initially, when the ARPA committee met, we talked about priority projects. These are some of the priority projects. So Patty and I have continued to categorize these expenses so that once we are done expending all of those ARPA funds, we can see which categories they went into. So that's just an update where we're at as far as where those expenses fall in categories. And then the last page that you have there is just an itemization of expenses, what they went towards, what's been expended so far. One update I wanted to give that didn't make the report after I submitted the report is the ARPA committee approved $100,000 to SAWC for their ag program. I followed up with them. They have since spent all of those funds and will be submitting invoices for reimbursement soon. All right. Any questions on any of those items?
Very good. Any questions for Sarah? I did get a comment from Andy Pratt. He continues to be very appreciative of the allocation that we made for the fairgrounds, and they're moving right along with those improvements. So
Good, good. Yeah, just in time for their 4-H fair.
that's right. That's right. Everybody will have a chance to see those improvements up close and personal.
Yep.
So, any questions for Sarah? Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right. Oh, one thing, when I went around the room, I had left out, I got over here and then I stopped. Charlie, did you have anything you wanted? You gave us a paper. Oh, you have nothing to say because you can't say it. All right, you're good. Wendy, did you have anything for us?
Just one thing, and it's just as an FYI, so that you can be prepared for it when you see this on the full board agenda. The Safety Committee, a little background, Safety Committee has existed since 2008. It's a part of our CIRMA, Counties of Illinois Risk Management Association. That is the organization that we currently have our property liability insurance with. It's a member pool, and as part of that membership in the pool, they want to make sure, of course, that we're all mitigating risk to the extent we can. So it was their initiative to ensure that there was a safety committee at every jurisdiction that participates in the pool. And they took it a step further and said not just a safety committee to focus on safety, but rather we would like to see a safety manual that is focused on safety. So in 2009, we adopted the first safety manual, came along in 2014 and adopted a revision. In 2016, the CIRMA pool paid for a consultant to actually review all of our handbooks, from employee handbooks to safety manuals, et cetera. And that consultant came back with a recommendation for some significant changes to both the employee handbook and the safety manual. The employee handbook changes were long since incorporated in, but the safety manual had really never been addressed. So it's kind of been sitting stagnant since 2016. So recently we got a resurgence of the safety committee, and the safety committee has reviewed the manual, and we are at a position now where we're forwarding that manual to the board for approval. So it did move through public safety, and public safety made a recommendation to move it on to the full board. The recommendation was move it to the full board with the approval of the state's attorney's office. So they've got that manual to review, and they'll keep us posted. It may be on the agenda this month. If the state's attorney's office doesn't get a chance to review that, we'll push it forward to the next month, but you'll be seeing it either this month or next month. So I wanted to give you a heads up. It's 80 pages or 80 plus pages, so my apologies for that. But it's a pretty comprehensive rewrite of what we had in the past. So that's all I have, Jim.
All right, very good. Thank you. Tom, you had asked to make a comment on tourism.
Just, yeah, Wendy and I have met with the Tourism Focus Group, and we've also got word back from tourism that they are going to, I believe last night, prepare to sign the memorandum of understanding, which we will vote on tomorrow or next week. And that will be to cut them on funding the end of September and start putting those funds, preparing them for the new tourism group, because they've got enough money in their fund to carry it through, and they've agreed to those terms. Also, Wendy and I met on Monday with the Lee County Food Pantry, which is down in our garage on 4th Street. And we just gave them a heads up that we're looking at doing something different, and that someday, they'd already heard some rumors. They were afraid we were going to throw them out. We assured them we wouldn't do that, but that we wanted to get them a safer, better place. So they're going to work with us on planning for that. So just moving forward on projects.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Tom. Any questions for Tom? All right. Moving on to, we have an approval for Joseph E. Meyer resolution, and we have one resolution, Nancy. Was there supposed to be, don't we usually get the certificate or something?
She doesn't have to yet.
Oh, okay, but we still need to approve this?
Yes.
And move it on to
Yes, please.
full board? Okay, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we probably should use the PIN number in the motion so we know exactly which one we're moving forward.
Okay, I don't have the PIN number.
Do you have it, Nancy?
I don't. No, there's nothing. I have one Joseph E. Meyer resolution, and that's it. Okay.
Yes, I have it.
So that PIN number, I just lost it, is 13-21-12-328-046.
So just based on that PIN number, I can tell you that that's in Woodhaven Lakes. So it's a Woodhaven Lakes property that we're moving forward.
How does she remember all that? It's amazing. But I guess after how many years? 27 years?
A lot of years.
Right. All right. So the motion would be understood that it would include that PIN number in the motion. So I'd entertain motion, move that on to full board, moved by Bivens, seconded by Naylor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion. Thank you, Larry. Motion carried. All right, moving on. Do we have unfinished business? Do we have any unfinished business? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Is there any new business? And the next thing we have is an executive session. I'd entertain a motion to go in executive session for the purchase of real property 5 ILCS 120-2C5. Moved by Kitson, seconded by Bivens. This be roll call vote.
Jim Sheeline,
Aye.
Mike Book, Tom Kitson,
Yes.
Larry Mamini,
Yes.
Tim Bivens, Nancy Naylor.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, where'd Dave go? Could be.